All right, so good morning. We are in the Toybox and we are having a tuning event here today. So the guy from My Taco Tuning, Mike, is coming on down today and he's going to do some performance tuning to continue on with the theme of the Tundra now being out of warranty and having it 5 years, and it's time to keep going with it. So I reached out to him and he said, yeah, I actually have quite a few clients in that area, people that have reached out to me hoping I was closer. He's actually from Negaunee in the UP. I seen his sign on our last trip back from Houghton up there four-wheeling, and anyway, he's going to come down today. He's got a bunch of guys lined up to show up here today. We're going to tune both the Tundra and the Tacoma. We're going to see if we can get any more power out of this 2.7 to help with those 40-inch tires. I feel like I'm nervous to turbocharge it for longevity reasons. As much as my nickname's Turbo, hence the turbo on the Turbo's Toybox. And the Toybox is this, right? This was the dream. This is the Toybox. But we're going to get to tune in today, and hopefully this goes well. So funny enough, get to chatting with the gentleman, the very first truck that's come here for tuning today, and it's my coworker's old truck, which is hilarious. So these guys don't live far away, super nice guys, and we get to chit chat and like, oh yeah, where are you from? Oh, I bought it used, and sure enough. Anyway, just a hilarious tidbit for the morning. And the next vehicle to get tuned is going to be this brand new Trail Hunter, which is awesome. Beautiful new truck. But right now, he's got my Tundra done, so we're going to go take that for a ride, see what we think. Pulling out the driveway, the throttle response is so much better. Oh yeah. The shift points. That's way better. So the shift point RPM is increased for the bigger tires, and the throttle response feels very linear, like a cable actuated throttle, as opposed to the very laggy kind of progressive electronic throttle feel that it had in stock. And I'm not even, this isn't even the tow haul mode, right? That's driving it. I will say, a lot of guys say, you don't need a tune, just press the tow haul button. And I've been driving it using the tow haul button, but that almost makes the throttle pedal too jumpy. It's too aggressive for normal driving, especially like low speeds, like parking lots and stuff. It feels real jerky almost. This feels very linear, very... Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Feels like it should. Yeah, all in all, I gotta say, this thing drives like you think it should have from the factory. It is perfect. So he did the mild, I believe it's mild and medium tunes in it. So the drivability is just very linear. The shift points feel spot on like they should be for this size tire. It feels perfect. I'm so excited. So unfortunately the roads are crappy today, and I am kind of driving around in four-wheel drive even. I really would like to try out the tow haul setting, the medium setting, but it's probably not a safe idea today. But oh well, it's Michigan, can't change the weather. All right, so now we are going to try the tune in the Tacoma. So he preloaded their spicy tune, which is a throttle sensitivity setting mostly. The overall tuning is the same as far as engine performance. But with the manual transmission, he said this is the most popular, so especially with a 4-cylinder, so we're going to give it a shot. However, the roads are still kind of nasty, so. But I want to drive this section of road, which is like one that I drive all the time, so we can get a feel for how it actually works. So. All right, so what I just remembered is that when I first drove the Tacoma, the tire pressures were all over the map because I had not adjusted them since coming back from Hollyoaks. So that was one contributing factor. Also, being winter, I was driving with the truck in four-wheel drive, and with those front hubs locked in, you're spinning a ton of extra mass in that front differential and axle shafts and drive shaft and all that stuff. So I just unlocked the front hubs, went back, verified the air pressures are matching all the way around, and now I'm going to go for my second drive. And I can tell you already, I do like the throttle response with the tune. It feels much more linear. It makes it feel like the truck has a cable actuated throttle, which is exactly what I think all cars should feel like. I don't understand why manufacturers think they need to make the electronically actuated throttle bodies drive the way they do. They are terrible. This is fantastic. The power gains for the four-cylinder are meant to happen in the rev range where you're normally driving from 1,500 RPM to 3,500 RPM. And I will say that at normal speeds, at 60 miles an hour, driving in that range and hitting the gas, it feels way better. It definitely has some more gumption there. The first drive I took, I was a little disappointed in the fact that the hill that I take all the time, going back to my house, in fourth gear, the truck just cannot maintain speed. It loses at least 10 miles per hour trying to climb that hill before the tune, and it felt no different climbing that hill with the tune. However, the lockouts were locked. I was turning all that front mass, and the air pressures were all out of whack. So after adjusting those, I'm just going for a big ride around the block, and I will say I absolutely love the way it feels rowing through the gears, the throttle response between shifts, the linear feel to the throttle. It feels amazing. It feels great. So I love it for that. I'm taking a lap back around. I'm going to hit that same hill, and I'm going to report back to you guys here in just a minute of how I feel about the power climbing that hill, if it made any adjustment or not. I will say, prior to this, with the front hubs locked in, I should have, most times, if I lose 10 miles an hour, I'll just downshift to third. I kept it in fourth intentionally to see how much I would lose, and I did end up downshifting into third. I left it in fourth, and I lost 10 miles an hour. But I didn't lose more than 10 miles an hour, so I have high hopes. Let's wait and see what it does. All right, so I'm about to turn on the road that has the hill, and I'm not sure if I've mentioned it up to this point or not. Some of you may recall a video where I made some modifications to the catalytic converter to remove its contents. That proved to be something that made it eat a lot of gas, and the Overland Taylor Tuning guys will not tune your truck with that being in place. So the truck got a brand new catalytic converter, oxygen sensors put in, no engine lights,
at all, was running good. However, that little bit of extra back pressure the catalytic converter has showed that I think I have a very slight crack in my exhaust manifold. I seem to have an exhaust leak underneath the heat shields of the exhaust manifold. So that may or may not be contributing to this. But in my short drive so far, I am extremely happy with the way it's driving. The normal driving, running through gears, 55 miles an hour down the road in 5th gear, it feels like it should. I mean, it's got way more power for that. I just got stopped mid-hill there, had to slow way down. I'm in 4th gear, climbing the hill. Normally I would have had a bit of a head start at, and it's not losing like it normally loses. I would say right there I only lost about 4 miles an hour. Normally I would lose 10 or more. This is the next little section of the hill. Again, I only lost 4 miles an hour. That is a major improvement. Huge. Again, I didn't expect it to have V8 performance. I know that, you know, they can't do that from simply changing the tune. But it gave it power right where it needs it. The rowing through the gears from 1500 RPM up to 3500 RPM, where I would normally be driving and shifting, it feels absolutely amazing. Yeah, money well spent. We're definitely happy with this. Love it. Absolutely love it.
So it is the next day, and I drove my Tundra last night to get dinner, and then I just drove it again, helping out a friend this morning that had a flat tire. And I just gotta say, you know, sometimes you'll do this stuff and like the next day you're like, maybe it wasn't. It was totally worth it. The truck just feels absolutely amazing. I absolutely love the throttle response, the shift points. It feels like this is the way the truck should have came from the factory. So very, very happy with Mike and the Overland Taylor tuning that was done. This is absolutely perfect. I don't know. I think the only next step would be a supercharger, which maybe one day, but it's definitely not in the budget right now. But yeah, I'm gonna get the Tacoma out and hopefully do a little more driving with that today. But I expect my excitement to be just as good with that truck. The initial drive I took around with it, it works. It works really well. Super happy.
So, just got in the Tacoma, gonna go rip it around a little bit more and just enjoy the newfound drivability with this tune. It is significantly improved. It's crazy. I don't know that, I mean, it must make more power because it definitely feels better, but also the throttle, again, just like the other truck, the throttle feels way more linear, like it should. You don't feel like you got to be putting your foot through the floorboard to get to that, you know, max throttle. It feels like the power comes on way sooner, and didn't really affect the drivability as far as like shifting. It just, you know, after driving a couple of miles and making a few shifts, you kind of get yourself adjusted to letting the clutch out at the right time and stuff again. Just as if you got it in a different vehicle. And it does. It feels like a totally different vehicle. It really does feel good. So Blake and I just jumped in the truck. We're going to go cruise, see if all the snow that we've been getting around here is adding up to anything in the woods yet or not. So far, I haven't been out to play in it, and I want to play.
Somebody forgot their bumper. Yeah.
do our part out here. Ooh, I might need to grab some gloves. Like somebody was having fun with the Buick out here. This is a pretty steep hill, in and out, but down here in the valley is where the bumper is.